ultimately, you fell short by very little last year.
Yeah.
Frustration to lose out at the final hurdle?
Yeah, real frustration. I mean, you know, I finished second in the championship a few times, but it was a very different situation because the other times I've kind of been catching up from having a deficit in the season and getting very close. But this time, you know, I was leading the championship from the first race until the start of the last race, and I had a massive points lead in the middle of the year. And you know, everybody was saying in the middle of the year, you know, you've won this. You know, there's no chance. And I said, yeah, you've got to be careful. You know, we've still got a long way to go. And around the middle of the year, we had 2 races where I got taken out while in, you know, championship race-winning positions, and then we had a race at Valencia when the car was just very slow, and the points went away very quickly. And then we went into the last race 3 points ahead of Bruno. You know, qualified just in front of him on the grid, but then he got ahead at the start, and I was in a race with sort of 3 BMWs, and kind of he got moved to the front of the pack, and that was it. And he won the race. I finished second, and I lost the championship by 4 points. So it was really hard to take because we had it wasn't a case of we were poor. We had such a good year, but we had a couple of times where, as I say, I got taken out of 2 races, and where I would have finished in front of him. Clearly, he finished in front of me both in races, and we lost a lot of points.
I think you've obviously proved that you've still got the dedication and the motivation in that series for Mercedes. You've been in it 10 years now? Yeah.
So this would be my 10th year competing in DTM. So.
And you're still at the front.
Yeah, I mean, I think some people had their doubts in 2011 when I had a fairly poor year, but I certainly came back fighting last year, and no, I had a great year. For me, you know, personally, I feel it was probably my best year of racing ever. You know, I think I've won the championship in 2005, but I think last year was probably my best year ever. And we didn't quite win in the championship, but I felt really good in the car. I felt really happy with the team, and I think it was a real shame because I really think we did deserve to win it.
And now you carry an extra weight of expectation, don't you, going into this season?
Of course, yeah. I mean, there was I say low expectation. If you have a bad year, then anything you do the next year, if it's a bit better, it's good. But obviously, this year we're expected to fight for the championship, and you know, people expect us to probably win it. So we've got a lot to do, but. You know, I think the cars are quite similar to last year, so I think there shouldn't be too many changes there. We're improving the car step by step, so I'm confident the package we're going to have is good, and I'm feeling confident, I'm feeling ready, and I'm, you know, looking forward to getting back to the battle, really.
Some people have expressed surprise about how good BMW was, but, you know, it's BMW. You know, they don't mess about.
They had... you know, Bruno Spengler, who won the championship for them, was racing and fighting for a championship at Mercedes the year before. You know, they poached some good drivers from good teams. You know, the last champion, Martin Tomczak, was also there. They had some great drivers from inside their ranks as well. And they did everything they could to make sure they were well prepared. They had quite a lot of engineers from Audi Mercedes. You know, they really tried hard, wish they would, to make sure they didn't look like idiots. You know, they didn't want to come in and be at the back of the field. So they had you know, more resources than anybody else, you know, and you know, they really put the effort in. They really did. They did win it, only just. You know, we were very close, but they kind of did make some of us look very silly by coming in after however many years out and just winning the championship first off. So,
obviously, we've got changes in management at Mercedes, haven't we? With Norbert Haug is stepping down. He was someone who was inspirational in your career, and he was crucial to getting you into the DTM. What's going to happen at Mercedes once Norbert's gone?
It's a good question because, as you say, once he's gone, I mean, it's still something quite new. It only happened just before Christmas. It was a big surprise to everyone I speak. You know, no one really saw it coming. So we're all a bit shell-shocked about it at the moment. And I'm still speaking to Norbert in Mercedes. He's still kind of there doing stuff. And we haven't got a new sort of head of motorsport yet. So we're kind of waiting at the moment to see what's going to happen. But I think the board is still very focused on F1 and DTM. You know, they don't have any big plans to change everything. I think they're certainly looking for more success in F1. You know, they've got Lewis this year, which is certainly going to help them because he will push them very hard to build a good car. But in DTM, I think we'll be, you know, very similar. I don't think we'll be affected too much. But until we find out who it's going to be, it's all, you know, not sure really.
You're going to still be testing for McLaren, of course. You do hours and hours and hours of work behind the scenes that people don't perhaps appreciate or even are aware of to help make Jenson Button, and for this year, Sergio Perez's cars go quicker.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the simulator's an integral part of the development of pretty much all the F1 cars these days. Ours more than anybody else's, I think. Our simulator's been running for, well, I've been driving it for, what, 15 years now. So it's on and off. It's been a long time, and it's a very sophisticated tool. And now it is a development tool rather than just a glorified computer game to learn tracks. You know, we develop the cars from the very early stages up to actually working on the setups of the cars during the race weekend for the guys that are at the track. So we can help them by doing testing when they finish practice on Friday to try and give them a better setup for Saturday.
So you're in the simulator in Woking,
yeah,
on a Saturday afternoon, and they're saying
Friday, yeah,
Friday, try this.
Yeah, yeah. We basically go in while they're testing. We do the same. I mean, we do all our race preparation in there as well. So both drivers go to the simulator before the race and set up their cars and get their setups in the simulator before they go to the track already. So they've already done some work. And then while they're running in the simulator on the track on Friday, we're doing the same in the simulator. Yeah, we adjust things like the grip of the circuit and stuff to match the lap times and match the balance of the cars through all the data. We get the feedback from the drivers that we look at, and then at the end of the day, the engineers send through a list of probably between 5 and 10 things they think about changing. You know, we run all of them in the simulator, feedback the lap times, the balance differences, and give them all the data, which they can then load into the data they've had at track, and then just put it. Yeah, it's at the point where they basically fit things to the car without testing them now because they can rely on the simulator that much.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing. Yeah. You touched on Lewis leaving McLaren after 6 seasons, going to Mercedes. Do you think he's done the right thing? If you were in his shoes.
Some drivers move for their own certain reasons, and I think a few of these times they move, a lot of people don't understand it, and I don't understand this one. I don't understand why he's moved because, you know, I know Lewis very well. I used to kart with Lewis when he was 10 years old, so I've known him very well. And Lewis has solely been focused on winning. That is, yeah, his aim has been to win races. He wants to break records. He wants to win the most championships, win the most races, and I see his best place to do that at McLaren. But obviously, he wasn't comfortable being there anymore, or he fancied a new challenge. You know, Mercedes are a big manufacturer. They're putting a lot of effort into their F1 team, so I'm sure they will get better. But I don't think this year he's going to be in a better position than he would be with McLaren. But Lewis has his own reasons for doing what he's doing. I wish him luck to do that. And hopefully I'm going to look forward to us beating him this year.
Yeah, you're such a team player, aren't you? Have a great season. Gary Paffett, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks.
Cheers, mate.